Was starting a YouTube channel in 2025 really worth it? That's what I'm going to talk about. If you guys don't know who I am Taylor Bosky. I run Taylor's Garage YouTube channel. And I've gone through a lot over the past year. This week is actually the 1 year anniversary whenever I actually started to be serious about doing YouTube. And a lot has happened. Now, before I answer, is it worth doing YouTube? Let me start by saying how this all started. Some people out there will actually know that I actually started doing a lot of stuff with videos well back whenever I was in junior high. In fact, my first ever phone, I learned how to do little stop motion videos. And I never really got anywhere with those. It was just all stored up on my camera. And didn't really think much about it. And this surely isn't my first YouTube channel. I've had about maybe 3 that I've tried to do and didn't really get anywhere with those. I think the highest I got at one point with my last channel was maybe 23 or 24 subscribers. And we tried to do, I kind of like doing a type of show, like a TV show, because that's what I enjoy watching. I like watching car YouTube videos, car shows, Top Gear, and Auto Alex and stuff like that. I really enjoy watching those, and I've always wanted to make my own version, and that is kind of what I'm trying to do here. I actually started to get serious with YouTube after I moved out of my mom and dad's house to my house, which is now this house, which was my grandma's, but this last September, it is now my house. And that is when I decided to go full in and try and launch a platform on here. To go all the way back to when I actually started seriously doing it, like I wanted this to be a series of me buying and selling cars. And actually it all started, at first I thought it was with the Ford Escape, but it actually started with my brother's 98 GMC Jim. So I bought that off my brother and actually brought it here. And this was at the time whenever I was actually starting to do stuff actually in this garage. But I think I got one video out on that, and then the rest of the time I found out that it needed too much work, like way too much. Like my brother had overfilled the oil, the left front, the wheel bearing was going out. And at one point, I was just getting so fed up with it. I bought it for $850. I sold it for $500 purely because I'd had it for way too long, and no one was serious about buying it. So I just sold it to a friend of mine who no longer works with me. And I sold it for a loss, but you know, not every project goes the way you want it to. I then kind of paused a little bit because I realized I was stuck in like the lower tier project cars, like the $500 to $1,000 range. So I actually saved up for quite a bit and bought, this was weird, I usually walk around with my mom and dad in town during the weekend, and we're out there walking. I always, anyone who knows me knows I'm always on Facebook Marketplace or any other car website looking for vehicles, and I stumbled across what I would consider the first official Taylor's Garage flip car, which was the Ford Escape. Now the Ford Escape it actually belonged to an old friend of mine from high school. Actually, my brother Caleb knew him a lot better, and yeah, I didn't actually have to do that much to it. I had to put a set of tires on it and brakes. But I got to a point where I was about to sell it, and I thought I had enough time and everything to make a video on it, but I didn't. I didn't factor in the time or anything like that for it, because the only thing it needed was tires and brakes. The tires I just did with my work, and at the time I wasn't allowed to film. At the time, especially that time of the year, which was about mid-spring, which was when we're usually at our busiest. So I wasn't allowed to film it. In fact, I actually had to stay after hours to finish it, so I didn't have time to film or anything like that. And I was going to do a video of me. The only thing it really needed was the brakes were bad, and I mean really bad. And I got stuck where one of the bolts was not playing fair. And I also didn't get a video on that because I work on Saturdays for half a day without telling me. Well, he kind of did tell me. I thought he was going to wait until I was off of work. But my dad came down here to the garage and finished the job, which meant, again, I couldn't film it. Which, I'm not going to lie, my parents don't really get the idea of YouTube, especially the being on camera thing, which I'm like, okay. But either way, that is also a little bit of an issue. Is anytime I try to do a video or something like that, I have to make sure that they're okay with it. So actually, there was a auction coming up down in French Lick. The what was the guy's name? John Knowles' car collection was going up for auction in French Lick, which, if you guys have seen my Civic video, isn't that far. It's about 25 miles, literally 25 miles from where I am. And we went down there, and my grandpa went with me. He's not very good at walking, so he actually stayed in the actual auction lot to actually watch the cars go through and see how much they go for, because they were doing bikes, and I'm not, although there are a couple bikes over here in the corner, I'm not that huge into bikes. I want to change that, but right now, not really into it. But I went outside to see all the other cars. I really got freaked out by that country squire that was just sitting in the back corner. It kind of had Christine vibes about it. But again, the video turned out okay. It actually just did pretty well. But the main issue that I had, and I actually had a lot of people tell me this, was I kept the phone pretty close to me so that you guys could hear what I was saying. But the problem is I have asthma and ulcerative colitis, so I breathe quite heavily. And you can hear it, in fact, you can probably hear it right now. But I breathe quite heavily. The Alien V10, but it's been up to 500, which is one of the I say kind of drawbacks. It's kind of my quirk or my glitch, which I've worked around it a bit, but it's just one of those things that you have to gloss over. But I did notice that if I ever did a video like focused on me talking, I kind of had to fix that. And also, I have had the phone really close to me so you can hear what I was saying. So that's when I decided to get a wireless microphone. But it screwed up one of my biggest videos. One thing that we do quite a bit is we like to go to the big Mecum auctions in Barrett Jackson. We've been to one Barrett Jackson, we've been to multiple Mecums and multiple car shows. But at this time, and the reason I made this mistake was I was trying to avoid copyright. Let me explain. So, I've been to quite a few of these auctions pretty much, especially these big ones. And, excuse me. And I knew that a lot of the stuff was going to be inside. The problem is that they blare out music in there. And I wanted to be careful because I know how picky YouTube can be with copyrights. So the week, like, I think maybe 4 days before we were due to go up there, to go up to Indy, which is 2 hours from where I am in Mitchell, I ordered a wireless microphone that works with my phone so that I can record the audio. The problem was I didn't entirely know how it worked. Like, it literally arrived the morning that we were going up there, because we were going up there after work. I actually had to run home, get it, charge it on the way up there, and then finally make the video. The problem was I got the settings wrong, and I recorded probably an hour's worth of videos with the reverb maxed, which ruined, and I mean ruined, the videos. Right, so I was supposed to wrap this up. Earlier, but one of my I only had my phone for editing, and there was no way I could even attempt to fix this. So I had ruined the storage on my phone was ruined. So I had to get a new memory card. So normally I would usually see that day as a waste, which it kind of was, because one of the main reasons I wanted to go up there was to make a video on it. And although I did get a few little shorts from being outside, like in the empty parking lot where there were some cars, including that 850, that 840. That was a gorgeous car. Although I did get a little bit, that was maybe like 0.1% of everything that I had recorded that day. But yeah, lessons learned there. So the Ford Escape, once everything was done with it, I did a straight trade with my grandpa I traded my 2001 Ford Escape 4-cylinder 2-wheel drive Escape for a 99 V6 3-liter V6 4-wheel drive Ford Ranger. And this was about I think it was October. It was literally the day after my birthday when I officially got the Ranger. But, and this was quite an issue, it was about this time last year when it snowed and everything, that this truck started to have issues. And what had happened was we actually couldn't figure out what was going on with it. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because that truck is coming back very soon, so I want to wait and do a video going into detail on that. But either way, I'm just going to say right now the truck's broken. And also, it was winter. And that's where my obtainable dream car, my 2011 Dodge Charger, was away in storage. I say storage. It was here at the carport, because that car has no underside protection or anything for salt or anything like that, and I want to keep this car for as long as possible. Right now, it's my attainable dream car, because my ultimate dream car is a 69 Charger, but I may have a Charger, but still. But I want to keep this car for as long as possible. But that meant, and also, again, it snowed and everything like that. So at the time, I didn't have a mode of transportation. It was also at this time when I started driving it, whenever the snow was gone, when I started driving it, that's when the timing chain was starting to go. It had stretched. So at this point, I was down 2 vehicles when I only had 2 working vehicles. So I was pretty stuck. And I was actually having to drive my mom and dad's 99 Ford Escape, which looks a lot like the Escape that I had, only this one's green and it has a giant brush guard and the wheels are black. Terrible color combination. Terrible color combination. By the way, I was stuck driving that. And it was to a point where I was like, I need to get another car. I need to get something else. And that was when what was a possibility turned into a miracle. So one day I was driving to work like I usually did. And just by Speedway, there's a big antique store right there. Well, right next to it, there's a little tiny car lot. And sitting in that little car lot was a little red Ford Focus. And me, I'm always into I like little Fords and stuff like that. I like little weird and quirky cars. Especially like I wanted a Fiesta or a Focus or something like that. I wanted a hatch version, and obviously I wanted a manual. But at this point, I couldn't pick or choose. I just had to go with what was available, which was that. That's my asthma. Also, it doesn't help that it's like 10 degrees out here, and there's no heater in here. I'll come on to that later. But I go over there after work. I think it was a Saturday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Saturday because that was when they were open. And I go over there, and Dad was actually off of work, so he went over. He met me over there, and it was a little 2004 Ford Focus SE 4-door sedan. It was an automatic, and at first it actually seemed really good. We drove it down in front of the dealership, and there was a bit of a loop that you go around to come back to that light and actually go back to that lot. But Dad had drove it out of the lot and out and around the big Hobson dealership. And we went around there, and there was a little bit of abandoned buildings on the other side of this giant field. And we stopped there and we switched. I got in the car. I got in the driver's seats, put it in drive, and went to go. And right when we did, this thing went from 0 to 6,000 RPM in like half a second. So yeah, the transmission was crap. Like, so we went back and we were honest. We told him, like, this thing, it's the transmission slips terribly. Like, it shifted terribly. And I think at the time, they were selling it for about $1,200, I think. $1,200. And later on, I saw that they had dropped it to about $850. Which, if I was into transmission and stuff like that, or like was down to do like a transmission swap to put a 5-speed in there, I probably would, but no. So either way, we come back and we tell him the transmission's going out in this. Do you have anything else? Which at the time he didn't. But the owner told us that they were going to, I think it was up near Lafayette, and to get a bunch of other stuff. And he said that there was a little $1,000 car there if I was interested in it. And I said, yeah. I didn't know. At this point, I didn't know what it was. Like, I had no clue what it was. And I just said, I just need a car. If it's $1,000, I'll buy it. And a week went by, and this was a Saturday when we went down there to it. And by that Wednesday, that following Wednesday, they had gone from Lafayette to Indianapolis, because the seats in this car had broken. So they were up there trying to get it fixed. And I couldn't blame the guy. You're kind of like sitting like really far back like this. I'm going to fall if I go any further. So, and also where it had broken, it was actually stabbing you in the back. And I know this because that's how I got it. And I was like, we'll deal with it later. Just get the car. And we get back. I didn't even know what it was at this point. It wasn't until a Friday. Yeah, it was a Friday because I went there after work. It wasn't until that Friday when I actually got a picture of it. And it was this 95 Honda Civic. And at the time, it was just a plain old Honda Civic, really. It was just white with silver wheels, not much going on with it. And I was really hoping it was a manual, but it wasn't. It was an automatic. Which is probably a good thing, because if it was a manual, I don't have a way of replacing clutches, like at all. Like, I would have to actually take it to someone and have them do it, because I don't have ways of doing it myself, which I'm working on. But either way, we get it. And I was really excited. Like, I went down there right after work. I went into the bank got my lunch, got the money for it. Went there, paid $1,000 straight up for it. Like, straight up. And I drove around for a day with the seats in that position. And that was when Dad MacGyvered the seat with a piece of exhaust and hose clamps. Which, even to this day, over a year later, they're still on there. It still works. But yeah, to be honest, I am really glad that I waited around and actually got that car, because that little Civic has pretty much built this channel. Believe it or not, it has literally built it. Like, I just put out a video a couple days ago of the full build series of it so far, and it's over 2 hours long. Well, almost 2 hours. But yeah, I guarantee that I probably would not have been able to build this channel without that little car. Like, it is a trooper. And everyone else will probably think it's a piece of crap. It is not to me. It has literally built this platform that I am on here right now. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Sorry, asthma. And that is why I'm pretty much vowing at this point right now that sometime down the line, if this channel does blow up, which it probably will, I'm not going to jinx it, then sometime down the line I will do a full restoration of the rust on that car, because that car is literally building the platform that I am on right now. Like, this channel would not exist probably without that car. So that is why that little thing ain't going anywhere. It's not. Like, just to give an example, my favorite all-time show is Top Gear. That's my all-time favorite show. I'm talking about the OG Holy Trinity UK version. And I always wanted to do a Top Gear style challenge, and that is where the fuel economy video came into play. That was my take on Top Gear, of a Top Gear segment, was my Civic fuel mileage thing. Although at the time I didn't have a proper mount or anything like that. I did have, well, I say proper mounts. If you see in that video, you can see where there's a piece of the mount in the top corner. That's because it was one of the hottest days that I did it. And I wanted to get it done quick, because they had no AC or anything like that. It still doesn't, but at this point, the heater works in it really well. But at this point, the AC doesn't work in it at all. And I wish someone would turn the AC down on the whole planet right now, because it is freezing cold. But either way, that Civic video of me doing the fuel mileage, that was based on Top Gear. Well, the principle of it was. Because that was the first time I ever saw anyone do a type of fuel mileage test with that. And that's what I did. I really did wish at the time that it wasn't so hot out, because my phone actually overheated and I didn't bring my microphones because I knew they were going to overheat. I found that out the hard way. There have been quite a few videos that you guys can see I don't have the microphone anymore, because when it works it's great, but when it acts up, like when it's too cold, battery, there's no notification that tells you when the microphone is almost dead. I went through almost half of a video. That never happened, really. It was stupid. I went through half of a video when the microphone died on me. I mean, it was a crap video. It didn't have anything to do. It actually wasn't worth posting or anything like that. But either way, I really wanted to go back and do it again when it warms up, because with those new injectors in it, I'm pretty sure we could probably beat the number that was the first time. I think it was in the 40 miles to the gallon the first time I did it. And I think it could probably do even better. So probably when it warms up again, I'll redo that with the new injectors. But yeah, that was my first attempt at professional type of work. In fact, that little Civic, I'm pretty sure if I had to put my definition to it of when this YouTube series actually started, it was the day I brought that Civic home and actually did a video on it. Because ever since I made the first Civic video, which was the cheap JDM Legend, which it kind of is, that is the video that has literally set the benchmark of consistency over the past few months of uploading. Because that literally got the ball rolling. That first video actually got this whole thing going. In fact, I did the first two videos on the same day. That's the first time I've ever done that. When I've done like 2 videos in a day, that's the first time ever that I've done that. And that car has given me a whole bunch of opportunities. And I've also seen videos to where you had to build something, but on a really tight time frame. That was when I painted the hood of the Civic and did the plugs and wires. That was the first time whenever I was like, I have to get this done, but I have to get this done before then. And Corey Wheat, shout out to him, because he's really given me a lot of inspiration to do this whole thing. Like, in fact, that first car show that I went to, I didn't get this on camera, but he dared me to do reverse donuts in the parking lot. And I said I was down for it, but I don't think we're allowed to. Which, Corey, I am trying to find a place for me to do that. All right, so be prepared. That's coming. That is coming. But it probably later. But yeah, Corey and Hannah were putting on a car show. We go to the same church. And they were putting on a car show. And that was when I was getting ready. That's what I was getting ready for. Like, this was my first ever, like, proper car show that I was actually able to take my own car that I built, is a strong word. Modified, most definitely. And I'm doing this. I had no experience with paint at all. In fact, even to this day, you can still see the streaks that I had missed, where you can still kind of see the white in the hood. I will probably go over that in the spring with another coat. And I have one job and one income, and I only had enough for one can and the plugs and the wires. So yeah, that's the reality of of doing YouTube is I have a full-time job, and you have to balance that with A, paying your bills and everything, and B, stuff like this. Stuff like this. But yeah, that is kind of the reality of it is. I haven't done much recently because I'm not saying I get paid terrible, and I don't hate my job at all. I actually love it. But YouTube is my passion. That's what I really want. I really want to do this full time, and that is what this whole thing is building up to do. But yeah, and everyone's been suggesting like I should get like a separate job, which I probably could. But then again, I wouldn't have time to do any of this. I wouldn't have time to do any of it. So yeah. It was during that car show, that's when I realized that this YouTube thing is actually really starting to work. That's when it was really starting to get the momentum. Because although everyone will come over here and say, oh, you've only got this much when this person has this many. Bear in mind, less than about a year ago, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any subscribers. I didn't have any views or any chances at anything like that. Excuse me. I didn't have any of that. And that's kind of the reality of it, which I'll come back to. But either way, that car show is what made me realize that this could actually work. Like this whole YouTube thing could actually work. And as of right now, it really has been working. Like I just posted on Facebook, like just the other day, that just the start of this year, just this first month of January, I have grown the YouTube channel, the subscriber count, by 25%. 25% of my current subscribers was just built over this last month. Just this last month. It's grown that much. And the views are going through the roof. I'm almost at 100,000 views. Which again, a lot of people are like, that's nothing. I started with nothing. This whole channel started with nothing. And that's really what I'm trying to show everyone here. And I'm like, YouTube, it doesn't start at the big success that everyone thinks it is. So in conclusion, is YouTube worth doing? 100% yes, but you have to remember it will not start out the bomb that everyone says it's going to be. Like it's not going to start out that way, and you have to remember that. It starts off small, but then you have to keep building up on it. You just have to keep going for it. And I do know that I don't post very much videos right now, but I'm still at the starting point. I'm still at the starting point. And I will have a video coming later explaining that. But the point is, it's 100% worth doing. You just have to remember that you're not going to turn this into a job like immediately. Probably not even the first year. But it's 100% worth it. I've told everyone that I've done more over these past 12 months than I've done in my whole lifetime. Like, it is just so inspiring what I've been able to do over these past 12 months. When at one point I thought I was not going anywhere. I thought I was just going to be at a dead-end job for the rest of my life. And the main reason I am making this video is I'm trying to prove to everyone, even if you're not as successful as everyone else, this is still one of the best things I have ever done. I have started multiple YouTube channels and have gotten nowhere. And this is the first one that is actually starting to go. Like, this is actually the channel that looks like it's actually going to fulfill my lifelong dream, which is to actually make YouTube my full-time job. And I'm just so thankful for all the support that everyone has giving me over this past year. And I'm trying not to well up. I would do this again 100% of the time. There will be low points. There have been times here where I was literally like, I can't do this. And yet, here I am. Like, just to give you guys clarification, about a year and a half ago, I had none of this. I didn't have a garage. I didn't even have my own place. I didn't have any of this. And now it's turned into all this. This is coming, I swear. But I'm making this video to prove that if you just put your mind to it and remember that there will be setbacks, but it always pays off. It always pays off. Many people will look at this and be like, oh, this is nothing. But when you realize, like a year ago, I didn't have any of this, I would say it's 100% success. And I'm going to keep doing videos. And will probably do it until the day I die, which is the goal. Because I love doing YouTube. I love watching YouTube. Anytime anyone sees me, I always watch it. Like, there's not a single day that goes by that I don't learn something from it. And I don't watch videos just to be entertained or anything like that. I actually learn stuff from it and actually apply this into my actual YouTube channel. I actually watched, I don't know how many videos of how to make this video I'm making right now. Because, again, I have no major in anything. In film, I don't have any major in camera work. I don't have any major work in anything. And the whole time, everyone's like, you need to have this or that. I've started this whole channel with just one phone. Just this one phone right here has gotten me to this point. And I'm making this to prove that you don't need all this fancy stuff that everyone says that you need. If you love doing it, go do it. Make it your opportunity to start something. I wouldn't have gotten anything I've gotten here right now if I hadn't started this. Nothing. I would have had nothing if I didn't pursue this passion that I had. I'd be stuck living at my mom and dad's place in the living room. Again. As long as you guys can just put your mind to it. There's no limits. There is no limits to what you can do if you just put your mind to it. You just put your mind to it and you could have the whole world. That's literally all you need. You just need to put your mind to it. And you can do anything. Literally. And I have to say this. I know that no one is perfect or anything like that, and I certainly am not. I'm certainly not perfect. I don't deserve any of this. I actually wasn't going anywhere for some time. I was genuinely thinking about giving up on everything and just accepting that I wasn't going to be anyone. Like, ever since out of high school, everyone that I had known had gone and done their own thing, and yet here I was, just not going anywhere. I went to college and came back, and I didn't think I was going to go anywhere, but stuck at one job for the rest of my life. Again, I don't hate my job. I genuinely don't. But YouTube is the one thing that I genuinely want to do. And at one point, I was thinking about giving up on YouTube entirely. Like entirely, just throwing it out the window. And it was at one of my darkest points when my grandpa passed away. He is the main reason that I am here right now. I wouldn't be here without him. I genuinely wouldn't. There was one point where I was genuinely thinking about, and he's the one that got me out of that darkness. And he led me to God. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for my grandpa and God. I genuinely wouldn't. My grandpa is the inspiration for everything that I do right now. And I put my trust in God for everything that I do. I am not perfect. I don't think there's anyone in this earth that is. And if they tell you they are, they're liars. No one is perfect. And I've put all my trust into God to get this video, this channel up and going. And I thank him for everything that I have right now. I always put posts out and everything, and I genuinely do thank God for everything. Like, I didn't think I would have anything, but now I have my own garage. I have a home that is now mine. I thank God for everything. Everything. I seriously wouldn't have anything right now if I had never trusted in him. And I'm just a sinner, saved by the glory of God. And putting my trust in him has gotten this channel to where it is right now. And I want to continue it. And I know that God has got bigger things coming on down the line. And I'm preparing myself for it. So, I'll end with this. Is it worth doing YouTube? Yes. It 100% is. And if you have a passion or something like that involving YouTube, go for it. Because there was times where I was like, I'll do it later. I actually was thinking about doing this video tomorrow when I realized I had enough time to do it now. You've got to take the chances that you have right now, because you don't know if you'll ever have the chance to do it again. You generally won't have a chance. And yes, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But it's worth it. It really is worth it. I've connected with so many people in so many ways. There are actually people out there that I thought I'd never see again come back and tell me that they like what I'm doing. And that's the biggest inspiration out there. To know that you're impacting everyone else's life, that in some cases, some people probably didn't even know who you were, but then they see something that you did and they liked it. And this is all worth it. It really is all worth it. You've just got to put your mind to it and trust that God will make it happen. There is not a day that goes by to where I don't think, is God going to is what he has down the line going to be here today or tomorrow? It really is. It really is worth it. it's 100% worth it. So I'll end with this. Just go for it. And let the journey take you to where you go. Because you never know what is down the line. And sometimes it might just be the finish line. I'm Taylor Roboski from Taylor's Garage. And I'll see you guys later.